Hello there folks, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome back to FM21 Conquering the Euro with PSV Eindhoven. Today is part 5 of Season 11 and in today's episode we play in the quarter-final of the Dutch League Cup, I'm going to call it, not the Toto KNVB Becker. It's not exactly comes off the tip of your tongue, does it? And then we host Arsenal in the first leg of the first knockout round in the Champions League. Now, we've been on a good run of form since the last episode, but you can see that AZ Alkmaar is still the thorn in our side. We're ahead of Ajax. The other favourite, Feyenoord, are way off. We're 12 points above them, but AZ Alkmaar are the real thorn in our side. They just can't really seem to be dropping many points. They beat Ajax, again, one of the biggest opponents. It's not too long until we play them, so that'll definitely be on camera. You'll see when I'm going to come back next episode. But they've beaten all the big teams. They beat Ajax, of course. They beat Feyenoord. They lost to us 6-2. But that's really about it. They've lost one or two games here and there, drawn one or two games here and there. But very impressive. 16 wins, 4 draws and 3 defeats. Obviously, we've lost one more game, which you shouldn't really have done. But it's going to be an interesting title race with 18 teams, 34... only 11 games to go now. So I'll tell you what, AZ Alkmaar could well win this if they keep going as they are. But we are on a good run of form ourselves. Of course, the last time you guys was for that Champions League decider against Liverpool, followed by the game against Feyenoord. And no, we don't keep coming back for Feyenoord just because we keep battering them. I'll explain why in a minute. We beat Canberra in the second round of the League Cup again. Fairly easy match to win. We beat NAC 3-0. And a bit of a disappointing match against FC20. We just weren't in this one. We really weren't. Although the stats really say that we were, that was very much after Amantini scored for FC20. It was very much a real attacking display after that. Before that, we weren't in the match. We really weren't in the match. But as soon as they scored, we finally woke up. And we managed to get a draw out of that, which keeps our unbeaten run at, what, 5, 9, 12, 15, now 17 games, which is pretty impressive. We then, after the winter break, got drawn against Ajax in the third round of the League Cup, believe it or not. We beat them fairly comprehensively, 3-0. So who else could we have been drawn against in the League Cup? Of course, it is Feyenoord. AZ are still in the competition. I think they are probably the strongest team in the league at the moment. So if we win this match, chances are we'll get drawn against them. But we've also had wins in the league against Venlo, Willem and Rotterdam. And in the last match, we dropped 2 points against ADO Den Haag. Again, very strange match, really. We were on top, just couldn't seem to get it in the back of the net. Just one of those games. But we've got Feyenoord today. We'll play the Groningen game off camera before playing Arsenal in the Champions League. Now, this wasn't going to be Ajax and Arsenal, but because of how the league fixtures have gone and how the League Cup has change things, then the fixture list has changed. And I don't quite know how it'll affect this March period, but the plan at least is to play Ajax, AZ Alkmaar and Arsenal all on camera. Because my opinion is, if we beat Ajax and AZ Alkmaar, again this is wishful thinking, I'm not very hopeful against Arsenal, but then you never know. Let's say that we beat Ajax and AZ Alkmaar and lose to Arsenal and go out the Champions League, then there's only 6 games left in the league season, so it might just be a case of coming back for the last couple of games. But I think we'll kind of know after these run of games where the league title is going. It's the big period now, the next month/month and a half. So I guess you're saying, what happened in January? Well, not too much, to be brutally honest. Big sale was Alvaro Fernandez. He went to China for 20 million. You might remember if you watched the series regularly that he was coming to me moaning about his game time. We played well when he played, but Simon is the one who starts at left back, and I was tempted to keep him as a backup, but for 20 million, I thought, well, you might as well go. Very much a journeyman now. He's played in Spain, England, Germany, Holland, and now added China to that CV. And we also saw one of our youngsters, which I had no power in, to be honest. We brought in a very young player, Freek Hewen, who's not Keith Hewen, who run the bikes. Freek Hewen, 16 years of age, looks a good prospect. Brought him in from £550,000 from our league rivals. Can't exactly call them rivals, but oh well. Sparta Rotterdam for £500,000, and he's going to be a good player for the future. Not that I'll be round here to see it. We also bought a very young man in James Ward-Prowse. Now, let me just explain this one. He's 38 years of age, and he was playing for DC United, and of course their seasons run January to December, so he was out of contract at the end of the year. And you know what? I just thought, well, his stats are pretty decent, actually. Ignore his physicals, which you'd be expected at the ripe old age of 38. Of course, he was my big money signing all the way back in Season 2 of the Wolves beta save, which was in this same universe, obviously. So he was one of my former players. He's a good servant at Wolves before going and doing the rounds at certain clubs. I never quite had the same sort of feat. Very much a farewell tour. But he was looking to retire, and I thought, well, you know what? It seems a no-brainer. It's £1,000 a week, a 1.5-year contract. Sure, his stats are good. His star rating is abysmal. But look at these stats. I mean, ignore the physicals. For what he needs to be a deep-line playmaker, the stats are all there or thereabouts. It's just the physicals that aren't very good at all. But, again, we wanted backup players, and I think he fits the bill. I really do. And, you know, he'll bring a bit of good dynamics to the team as well, a bit of a leader, good corner taker as well. And, I'm just going to check he's a good corner taker, I'm not talking out my backside yet. He's a good corner taker at 14. And he'll also be able to mentor some of the younger players. So a bit of a no-brainer, really. A £100,000 experiment. We've also bought in Yognan Dimitrov from Bero Saragoza in Bulgaria. So I've gone back to Ludogorets on loan. He paid £1 million for him. To be honest, I was looking for him to be a replacement for Fernandes. He's got some good stats, but once again, he's only a 1.5-star player. Can't really have him as my second choice. So we have got another player at second choice who is here already. Let's see if I can find him somewhere. There we go. Danilo Valles. Again, he's not really the best player in the world, but he's a decent backup. As you can see, some of his stats are pretty decent. But let's get into the match after that. So, Jokic starts in goal with Courtois, Kazmi, Iranzo and Simon at the back. Reece and Bate play in the midfield. Bate getting a bit more game time, yeah. You can see over the last 5 games, he's been playing really well, to be honest. A 7.4 average rating. 7.38 it says there, so 7.24 on the other screen. Very, very strange. Reece starts alongside him. Najim, Al Salman and Mbalo start in the attacking midfield with Omar Aslan up front. We've got a lot of games at the moment, of course. We're having to do quite a bit of rotation on the ordinary side. But based on our result against Ajax, I think that they were resting players. I don't think that they were playing their full-strength team. I really don't. But who knows? We are in a very good run now of keeping clean sheets. I'm fairly certain we haven't conceded a goal since we've come back off the winter break. I don't think that's, of course, not going to last forever, particularly with that game against Arsenal coming up later on today. But I think Feyenoord might be a bit of a bigger challenge here. Again, that they've got nothing to play for in the league, to be honest, brutally, in terms of what they'd aspire to win the league. But the Cup might be an opportunity for them to do something. And I never should have said that about not conceding a goal. It was fatal, because it's been 54 seconds and Feyenoord are 1-0 up. That is just absolutely fatal. Early days, though, I'm not going to worry too much. As you can see, within 5 minutes, we fought back nearly 60% of possession. So not too worried at all. But that being said, Feyenoord are back on top here. So if we go out of the Cup, is it a real issue? No. Would I like to win it? Of course. But again, is it a real issue? Probably not. He says now he's behind. If coming into this game, I'd have been desperate to win. Lovely ball from Bates out to Simon. Simon and Barlow. Oh, not quite. Thierry Courtois. Courtois puts it back into the area. Bit of a mix-up there, but a good save. But Mazaliski all the same. But they've got a lot to prove with Feyenoord. They've lost to us 6-1 and 4-2 respectively this year. So definitely something to prove. They were one of the favourites coming into this season, but have really underperformed. I think they're down in 7th or 8th in the league. So yeah, they've definitely got something to prove. And this probably low down in our list of priorities. If you're going to ask me what my priorities are, you know, the league comes first, of course, then probably the Champions League, and then this. But I'll tell you what, we have not got into this game at all so far. This has been very, very poor display, even though it is maybe a team that isn't always our first choice. We've gone from a more attacking tactic. It's clear that this more defending tactic isn't working for us. So we need to get back into the game. And Barlow shoots, doesn't quite make it 2-1. If we can make it 2-1 before half-time, I think we've got a half chance at least of getting back into the game. Again, if we're 2-0 down, it just becomes a bit of a struggle. And I really don't want to get to extra time if I can help it. So we've gone more attacking. If we can score, if we concede a third, I think it's probably game over. We can get one back before half-time. We've got a chance, but I don't think we have now. So hopefully, a bit of a ramming at half-time, a bit of a slap on the wrist, or a little bit more than that, will hopefully fire the players up for the second half. But it's just not been anything like what I'd expressed to you guys. It's just a real shame, because we've been playing some really good football, and the players have gone all camera shy. I'm hoping this highlight is a goal. I know I said this last time out, but it's as good a time as any to score a goal. Al Salman Al Salmon on the ball, doesn't really do much with it. Back to Simon, Bate, Ludovic Rees puts it forward to Aslan. Aslan gets a goal, but it's going to be offside. Better play, though, at the start of this second half. It's a little bit encouraging. You just know with these VAR checks that it's going to be offside. It's inevitable. Yeah, clear offside, no goal. And he'd have done pretty well to get that far behind the defenders anyway. So it's back up to the hour mark. I think we need to probably make a change at this point. I'm going to bring... going to put Aslan on the right wing, and I'm going to bring Pinto on up front. Just to change things slightly. And I'm also going to bring Kakar on for Lewis Bate, who's having a... Again, I've jinxed him, really. He's not having a good game. But then, I don't think anybody else is. So you can't really pick him as a scapegoat, to be honest. But Pinto, pretty much straight after coming on, nearly gets a goal. So I think if we get one goal back here, we've got a real good chance of getting in this tie. We are certainly the better team on XG. That being said, Chelsea were the best team on XG against the Albion the weekend. And look how that one ended. Half an hour to go. Again, I think we've got a chance, but it's just not quite clicking for us. I think we need a goal back before the 70th minute because Feyenoord aren't stupid. They'll just have all what's the word? I can't remember what the phrase is now, but basically they'll have all their men defending. They'll try and contain us and park the bus. But it feels like it's going to happen. We just need to find a way through. We'll make our third substitution at this stage. And Barlow seems a little bit tired, so we'll bring Paflias on for him. But at this stage, it looks like, despite being the team that have probably had the most chances and maybe a good defensive performance from Feyenoord has stopped that, looks like we're going to go out of the competition, which is a bit of a shame, given how well we played against Ajax. And it seems we've played half decently today, but it might well have been Feyenoord's defensive performance or just a lack of impetus up front. I really don't know. Obviously not watching the full 90 minutes, you can't really tell. The only thing you can tell from is all these stats. But it would feel like a little bit like Ardo Den Haag. We've been a bit robbed in this match, if you ask me. But, is it just us not taking our chance? A bit worrying. Obviously the fact that if we don't score here, we won't have scored in 2 matches, despite having a really good goal scoring record. And you just never know with FM. You can be easily found out. That being said, goal here, we might be back into this. Aslan, it's just not going to happen for us today. It just isn't going to happen. It's just one of those matches where you can see we're going for it, but nothing's quite coming off. We're not getting that run of the ball, as you'd call it in snooker, I suppose. Kakar, not quite. 5 minutes to go. Again, it's a shame if we are to go out here, but it's just one of those things you've got to suck up. We've not done too badly this season at all. This would probably be the first real disappointment after the first few games, but I'd call that the bedding in period, so I can live with that. But despite having 23 shots, 7 on target, and the much higher XG, it's just not happened for us today. So we are out of the Dutch League Cup. Yeah, we didn't get going, I agree with that, but one bad result isn't going to knock us off at all. Again, a bit of a shame, because I think that would have been a good opportunity to get a trophy. And again, it was my birthday, so thanks Feyenoord for giving me a 41st to forget. Yeah, 41st to forget. Oh well. Let's hope we have a bit more sunshine when we host Arsenal. But hopefully the Groningen match will give us a bit of impetus to get into it. That being said, they are 6th in the league, so they are a bit of a challenger. And, you know, it might be me being a bit hasty, I don't know. But we could do with a win against Groningen just to give the players some much needed confidence before the Arsenal match. Well, it seems after the last few weeks that everybody is doing their best to give somebody else the title. We played terribly against Groningen. We managed to get a draw. I don't know how. Just another one of those matches where we absolutely dominated in terms of the XG. Okay, possession wasn't great, but our XG was better, but we could only score 1. And admittedly, it was a goalkeeper mistake. But at the same time, on the same weekend, if I can go back to it, AZ Alkmaar lost 1-0 to Fortuna Sittard, who sit bottom of the table. It's only one of their only 2 wins of the season. And I think Ajax played against AZ as well. Now, AZ actually played against Feyenoord before that, and they lost to Feyenoord. So everybody trying their best to give the league to somebody else, and hopefully we can wake up a little bit. Of course, only 10 games to go, and it's going to be a very close run thing, but 2 massive games in the next episode against AZ Alkmaar. But firstly, Ajax. But before all that, we're playing the first leg of the Arsenal match at the Philips Stadion. fairly confident for this one. We've got JEKYLL in goal. We've got what I think would resemble most of our first team. Kulshar at right back, with Diog providing a bit of experience at the back. Maybe a bit of a silly choice, but to be honest, it's the only one we've got, so I'm going to justify it like that. Kazmi plays alongside him with Simon at left back, Reece and Kaká in the midfield, Aslan, Al Salmon and Paflius in the attacking midfield, and Pinto up front. And we've had 9 games, luckily, from that Groningen match. 2 days to today's match. Did I say 9 games or 9 days? I don't know, but I meant days, of course. So hopefully that is just going to give us a little bit of time to shake off that bad form and come into it. Bukayo Saka's still at Arsenal. Jose Arsenio, who I tried to sign for Everton all back in the day, is there. One of our former Everton players there, Pat Meyer. Aaron Ramsdale playing in goal, brilliant. Maxence Kakare, again, one of my former players playing there. And clearly Jamie Carragher's son plays for Arsenal as well. And Jurgen Klopp, no pressure there, is the manager. And of course we are good chums with old Jurgen in Football Manager. We're on a bit of a bad run the last few matches. We seem to have stalled slightly, but again, 2 matches without a win. Actually, it's 3 matches, isn't it? Oh dear. 3 matches without a win. It'd be good to get a good result today, but being at home first, I'd prefer to be away from home first, it's fair to say, to try and get an away goal on the board. But get a good result, you know, at least a draw here today, and it doesn't look terrible going into the second leg. Lovely ball from Diogby into Pinto, and he strikes that one beautifully. What a finish that was. I mean, I know Aaron Ramsdale's not the best goalkeeper in the world, but even so, I mean, I'm glad it's justified putting Diogby in the squad, almost like what Tony Kroos did to Liverpool earlier in the week, which we won't talk about, and put it through to Pinto, and Pinto makes it look easy. What a strike that was. Tight offside, I really don't care, because the defender played him on. Only been one team in this game, the first 15 minutes, but based on what's happened in the last few matches, I'm not going to get too excited too quickly. But at least we've scored the first goal. That is a little bit of excitement to have. Al Salmon, not quite, but Paflias nearly gets the ball back, but Pablo Vieira running through. Hopefully he's not as good as his potential dad. We don't know if it is his dad or not. I very much doubt it, to be honest. But let's have a look. Let's have a look, shall we? It's intriguing me now. Fabio Vieira. He's Portuguese. So, yeah, he can't be his dad's son, put it that way. And then the other one I was intrigued about is Bill Carragher. Yeah, he's a regen. He can't be Jamie Carragher's son. Maybe his grandson. Who knows? Actually, that'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it? Yeah. Half an hour in, though. Oh, we're apparently playing for set pieces because we're doing quite well at those. Kaká into the box. That one wasn't too great, but we keep the ball nevertheless. Paflius back to Simon. Simon into the area. Aslan. Oh, well. I'd said that Aaron Ramsdale was a bad keeper before we started this match. Luckily, he's not having the performance of his life, which again, he did have against Liverpool earlier on this season in real life. But what a performance this is for us so far. I think it's fair to say we are the second favourites, the underdogs coming into this match. But a 2-0 lead before half-time, I'll certainly take that. And Jurgen Klopp's side look a little bit shell-shocked. Again, similarities to the other night. Kaká, oh dear. Get the ball back quite easily though. We're looking like the best team here, and I think if we can make this 3-0, we might just kill off this tie altogether and change all our plans for the season. Diogby, Chukwa, what did I call him? I can't remember how I pronounced it. Al Salmon on the ball, good ball through. I can't remember who that was from either. Too busy worrying about how to pronounce names, which has never been my forte, despite getting an A in a French GCSE. Crosby, through to Al Salmon. Al Salmon shoots! Well, if we ever needed a result like this, it was today. I don't care if Arsenal are bad. Again, another Liverpool reference. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. But we are absolutely dominating here, despite not having a very good XG. Put it this way, we've had XGs much higher than that and not scored a single goal in a match. But that being said, if Arsenal make it 3-1, they get that all-important away goal. If they make it 3-1, it's not that bad. But if they make it 3-2, it starts to become a bit more alarming. But Salmon through to Pinto! 4-0! 4-0 before half-time. And really, it's all come from long hops that Arsenal should have been dealing with. I mean, look at this. It's disgraceful, really. 5 against 1. 6 if you include the keeper. Ramsdale goes the wrong way. If I had any advice to Mr. Klopp, get rid of your keeper. Get rid of your keeper, he's dreadful. I mean, terrible, unforced errors from Ramsdale's has caused at least 2 other goals, if not 3. But straight after half-time, cleared that Klopp's given him a bit of a slap on the wrist at half-time, and it's probably worked. 15 seconds into the second half. Again, it's a lovely ball from Fernando. Again, a bit of a long hop like ours were in the first half. And it's not been unheard of for a team to come back from 4-0 down to 4 each. So again, I'm not going to be too happy just yet. Forever the pessimist, I know. But it doesn't look like after the 10-minute mark that they've done too much more. So that is okay. But again, at 4-2, yeah, it's still not brilliant. Again, you know, it's a few away goals. And if they win 2-0 at home, it's all over. Again, you just never know. Good tackle from one of my former players. See, he learned well from the Jones trade. I tell you what, these balls over the top are getting through. And Arsenal now, 4-2. Get another one and I'd really start to panic. Al Salmon's cream crackers. So we're going to bring him off for Lewis Bate. Problem is I can't bring Diogby off for anyone, can I? We haven't really got any defensive options. That's the issue here. We have gone for a more defending tactic, so I've got no problem with that. We're not exposing ourselves at the back. But I think the next goal in this match, if there is to be one, is absolutely huge. You know, 5-2 and... Okay, we've conceded a few away goals, but great stuff. Pinto's through 5-2, there you go. Panic over. Lovely assist from Lewis Bate. There's been some great assists today, some great goal scoring, 7 goals. Glad I bought you this match. But I think as it stands, if it stays like this, which I've got no assurances that it will, if it stays like this, I am fairly confident that we're through to the next round. But again, if Arsenal go and score again here, you just never know. You just never know, do you? But it's been a great performance all round. A little bit leaky at the back, but albeit, you know, we scored 5 goals. I don't think any team in any match who's ever scored 5 goals has really come away unhappy. And that looks like it's how it's going to end. Fair to say, I'm pretty happy with that. If you'd have offered me a 3-goal lead to take to the Emirates, I'd have been pretty satisfied with that. Let's just make sure that we don't diminish that and concede another away goal. Because again... At 5-3, they only have to go and win 2-0 at home, and you never know with injuries, etc. Saka, big chance there for Bukayo Saka. A lovely ball from, Ramsdale. About the only good thing he's done all day. And what a terrible... I mean, only a 6.6 for him. Surely it's worse than that. But brilliantly clinical from our lads. I suppose a bit of a JEKYLL and HYDE performance. But you know what? After being 4-0 up, it couldn't have got much better, could it? But what... a game that was. What a match that was. And thank goodness we've returned to form after a bit of a dodgy few matches. And hopefully it's only a blip rather than a big mistake. But we are going to come back for that 3-match special in the next episode. Only one game between now and then with our feeder team NEC. We then play Ajax, AZ and Arsenal all on camera. And hopefully it's the day where we try and take points off 2 of the league leaders and potentially solidify our place as the favourites for the league, or alternatively have a disaster and have a lot of work to do with 8 games to go. But if you enjoyed that, folks, make sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Comment your thoughts, of course, as well, and subscribe for regular snooker. Well, you can for that as well, but for regular Football Manager 21 content. Thank you for your company today, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye for now.